Hi, thank you for joining me today for 7-second transformation hacks. My name is Conrad and we are in my personal home. So in my home staging career, I learned how to go into any sort of home and figure out what I could do to make things look on purpose and make things look like they had a designer touch. So I was all prepared when I moved into this house to figure out how I could take those home staging instincts and turn my personal home into something that I could live with without doing a lot of different updates. So you can see we are in the living room, and some of the things that were a challenge for me are the walls. Do you see that? They're sort of like a deep golden, I guess, wheat color, something that is so far from what is in the gray walls, but I had to figure out what to do to avoid having to repaint the whole house. Also, when I moved here from Colorado, I had a mishmash of furniture that I took from my home staging company. Some of it was in my home in Colorado, and I was determined I was gonna make it work in this home. So I wanted to stay in a budget. I wanted to give myself a challenge. And so what you're going to see today is how we transformed this living room for under $500. Welcome to the after of the 7 seconds transformation hack, and this is the living room that we are doing for under $500. So let me walk you through some of the things we did. Your first step when you are changing a room and redecorating it is to choose the color scheme that you want to go with. As you can tell, I went with quite a bit of black and white just because I needed to cut the gold on the walls. And so this picture behind me is one of my absolute favorites. I got this picture at HomeGoods, and you have to check it out like twice a week because they get new things in and then they sell quickly. But this really helped to cut the yellow and to bring more of a contemporary, fresh look to the room. And then lighting is so important in a room. And I went and found some lighting. I actually got the stand-up lamp at HomeGoods on clearance, and then I found a burlap lampshade, which I felt really tied in the color of the walls to make it look on purpose, even though it's not a color that I would have chosen. And then as you can see over here with the lamp at the coffee table, I brought in a white lamp or an off-white lamp with the same shade, and so that those look like they matched. You know, you can find almost any lamp that you want, and you can change the entire look with a shade. I chose sort of this new, I don't know what you would call it, it's a teal, but more of a turquoise. And I just love these pillows. And I got the 2 turquoise ones on the sofa from HomeGoods, and then I spent the money on the black and gray ones from Pottery Barn. One of the things that I found is if I mix in really high quality and I only need a couple things in each room, it can make the whole room look amazing. Also, what I've learned to do is go to a place that's expensive and kind of check out what they're putting together. And this whole thing here with the coffee table is like a Pottery Barn hack. So what do I mean by that? I went to Pottery Barn and I saw what is it that they're doing on the coffee table. I like to get inspired and then do a rendition of my own. So I bought a tray that looked very similar to what I saw there. I purchased one plant from there because I really liked the finish on here, and I just added this in, and then I went to Hobby Lobby and I purchased other similar plants to fill in the tray. So there's a lot of different brands of candles out there. The Luminera is absolutely beautiful, but it's so expensive. But if you go to Hobby Lobby, they have a Luminera that's at a reduced rate, and that's what I used here in the middle. So I went to Pottery Barn for an inspiration, and then I went and found less expensive items to recreate the look. One of the things I love to do at the fireplace is to add the greenery that sort of fans out. Also, I like to fill my home with positive messages, and so you'll see a dream sign that I put there on the fireplace so that when you walk into the house, this is the first room you see, and it just kind of sets the tone for the entire home. So I found this throw at HomeGoods, it's herringbone, and then I went to Hobby Lobby and I purchased fabric that looked almost exactly the same, and I made runners for the dining room table and for the kitchen table, so I'll be showing that to you soon. But to put this over on the chair sort of ties it into the rest of the room and into the rest of the house. Now, one of the questions I get a lot is, I've got an end table, but what do I do with an end table to make it look cozy? And so with this end table, you see that I got a lantern, and I got this lantern at Kirkland's. If you watch for sales at Kirkland's, you can get a really, really good price. This is a really long room, and when it's really long like this, you want to make sure that you create spaces. So on Wayfair, I bought this black sofa table. It was about $100, and then I went to Pier 1. You can tell I go and I shop different stores for the best deals, and I found some really nice jars that looked a little bit aged, and they're in the same colors that I brought into this room. And then I got some pretend books that are in black and white that I got with Hobby Lobby, and I created the different heights. Now, one thing when you're doing a sofa table, you want to create interest and you want to create different heights. So I put the books underneath one of the pots. This was the second Pottery Barn Greenery that I spent money on, and then I added a family photo, and this was not on purpose, but it worked out great. If you look at, it's a wedding photo. The bridesmaids' dresses and the guys, their tux and their shirt matches perfectly with the decor of this room. So in $500 or less, you're able to create a room that really speaks to something that's new and fresh. And to finish everything off, you can see that I added a farmhouse rug on the bottom. This whole house has very dark floors, and when I add a light colored rug, it makes the room look a lot larger, and it also creates a space that defines the room. And I got a great deal on this rug at Wayfair, and it was about $125. So I hope that the 7 seconds transformation hack has helped you to know that whatever your room looks like, if you want a new look, you can spend under $500 and have a designer looking room.